Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Sorry for the delayed start here, but we are up and running and ready to go. My name is Rebecca. I'm from the MicroCAD marketing team, and today we are going to go through Bluebeam Revu Extreme with Douglas. So I will actually go ahead and hand it right over to him so we can get started.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. My name is Douglas Gray. I'm one of the service managers here at MicroCAD. It's our pleasure to go over some of the features of Bluebeam Extreme today, of course, with respect to scaling. And Rebecca and I just love to go over this with you. We had some questions we would like to just ask everyone. Rebecca, if you could go to the first question that we had. And as you see, I believe our first poll question that we have up here, just asking some general questions on, how many of you are, have used Bluebeam, and instead of using, most of the time, most people are using Adobe, but just wanted to see how many of you are using Bluebeam from the start. And it looks pretty decent. Looks like we have pretty much 60% using the software and about 40% not using the software. Okay, that's great. Did we have another question too to ask them? Yeah, if y'all could go out there and answer that particular question, what trade are you a part of? Do we have a lot of architects or structural or MEP? Well, good. Looks like we have 100%. Okay, getting a little different mixture. It's a mixture. It was 100%, but now the numbers coming in. Looks like we have the majority is architectural. We do have some structural and MEP, and of course I see other in here as well. Oh, also some construction people. Great, great, great. And I think we had one more question. One more question. Do you think you'll be, utilizing this after this webinar? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Looks like the number's still coming in. We're at right about 86% as the time runs out a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty decent. Thanks, Rebecca, for putting those polls together for us, and thanks everyone for answering. So I'm going to turn off my camera here, and let's get going. So today, what we'll be looking at is one of the additions that Bluebeam Revu offer, which is the Extreme. The Extreme version can do red line PDFs and customization, customizability, markup tools. It's really powerful in that aspect where you can do different clouds, different line items, and aspect when it comes to marking up Bluebeam, marking up a PDF. It also can do really good measuring features built inside of the software, which is like doing links and polylines and area. Another part that I like about the software is you can also add a digital signature, and I have used that feature quite a bit. With respect to applying a password protection and also setting permissions, that's another really nice feature. I was working on a project that required us to do a password protection on some documents that we were emailing back and forth. You can also do, create some forms, as well as you can import sheets sets from AutoCAD into Bluebeam Extreme. Our goals today we'll primarily be looking at the um, calibrating a drawing, setting a scale. And when you set a scale, there's two different aspects that you can choose. You can either calibrate using a known dimension, or you can input a already preset or custom scale. I'll be showing you how you can take a measurement. We'll use a length, a polyline, and also an area. And then we're also going to explore the viewport features. So with that said, let's get right into the software. And this is Bluebeam Extreme 2020 version. And as you can see, I have a PDF file of just a partial, this is a school building, and it's a partial floor plan of the same area. What I want to bring to your attention is when I go over here to thumbnail, and if you notice down here in the corner next to the page size, you would see scale not set. You can also come up here and you can engage this that says page scale. So it will show the scale of that particular page right over here in the thumbnail. So before we get started with anything, what I like to do is we need to set the scale. So you can click right here, and here are the two different options that we have. We can either put one in by using a known dimension. So let's try that way. I'm gonna zoom in here, and here's a known dimension that we have. I'll put in 34 feet 8 inches. And now let's go ahead and measure that. And there we go. So now that the scale has been set for this particular PDF, we can go ahead and do some other things. So after I have placed the scale on here, let's do one other measurement. So let's do something over here. Go to this door. And we see that that door is 3 feet wide, which is great. Just wanted to do at least do 2 dimensions. If you notice in here on this particular drawing, I have 3 other outlines of this particular floor plan. So of course, I could possibly put some of my content over here. And of course, you can see the scale is set to an 8. Well, how would I do that with these other areas? How would I be able to mark up this particular PDF and have everything work properly from a scale standpoint? And the way you do that is you can come over here where it says viewports, and you hit a plus arrow. I'm going to set the particular area. I'm going to pick this whole area right here. I'm going to give this a name, and this right here is the 1/4 inch. Of course, you can set the scale right here. It's already set to 1/4 inch. Hit apply. And as you see here, it says 1/4. My scale is called to 1/4. I'm gonna come over here to this one. Let's create another one. I'm gonna do the pull down and set this one to 3/32. And let's do one more. Leave this one up here. Let's do a 1/2. As we can see here, a 1/2. Great. So now with our scale that has been set for the PDF document, we can start to use some of our symbology over here. Now, before I place, we can place, let's say I select this particular table. And if you notice, if I place this table on here to the 1/8 inch one, it looks pretty decent. But if I go over here to the 1/4 inch, notice how it did not change size. So how could I use this symbology to match up with the scale of everything else? What you can do here, you can click on the gear. You can also set a scale for your items in your tool chest. So I'm going to set a scale, input, preset. I'm going to set that to an 8, hit apply. So now if I place these tables in my classroom, or my science classroom, and what if I take all of these right click, and I'm going to group them. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to add this particular group of tables to my school furniture tool set. You see those populate right over here. So what if I wanted to use this same layout over here? Notice how the size of it changed to match up to the scale of that PDF area. Same thing when I go over here to the 3/4 inch. Everything's matching up real nicely. Even when I go to the 1/2 inch one. I think that's pretty snazzy. Any questions so far? Has any questions come up, Rebecca?
I'm not seeing any just yet, but if anyone does have any, please feel free to throw them in that little question section on the panel, or also in the chat as well.
Mm-hmm. And another thing we can do here is with respect to doing poly length, I can select poly length. I can select over here. And as you can see, it gives me a total distance of 52 feet and 10 inches from this door all the way over here to this door. Another thing I'd like to show you from an area standpoint, we come over here and do an area. And I can go ahead and do the same area. If you also notice, it's snapping to the edge of everything. Okay, so we can do areas. What I also want to show for my MEP people that are on the line, let me go to my second sheet. So with my second sheet, as you see, I don't have a scale set, so I'm going to this time use the input scale, 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to apply the scale. And what I like to show you here is I'll do a viewport for this particular area. Set that to 1/4. And we'll do a quick one over here for the 3/32 one. Okay. And now that I have that, we can come over here to our MEP symbols. We can set a scale. And now I can place down return air diffuser, supply air diffuser markups if I was doing some sort of a layout for someone to do this particular work. Show light fixtures, emergency light fixtures. If you notice, if I pop over here to my 1/4 inch one, you can see that even as I'm placing this emergency symbol, it's matching up to the grid. It doesn't matter where I am, if I'm doing eighth, those symbology would use, even if you're doing fire alarm. So if I can show my fire alarm symbology here, I can come over here, and as you see, it immediately goes to that particular scale on that particular viewport, as well as over here for the 3/32 one call out. All of these symbols that you see over here to the left, I made all of these, and you know, and of course set the scale. Anytime you want to utilize the scale, you can turn that off, and then everything will go back to normal. As you can see, it's not scaling to that particular viewport. Any questions, Rebecca? Okay, so no questions came up so far, Rebecca?
Nope, I don't see any just yet.
Okay. Well, awesome, awesome. Even with now the content I showed you down here is a content that I made. Let's see here. There's a question that just came through. Oh, could you show the process of creating a symbol? I sure will. Thank you for asking. So let's see. Let's say I'm going to make for example, let's do like a 2x4 light fixture. What I would do is I would come up here and draw in a 2x4 light fixture that I would want. And I'm gonna go ahead and show my circle. I'm holding down the shift key for the circle. And if I like for this to line up, I'm gonna select this circle plus the square. Do a right click, do alignment center, and do alignment middle. And what I like to do here is do a right click, and I'm gonna do a group. So group that all together. And then what I would do next is I wanna, it's good to assign this to be a part of a subject matter. So the subject matter that I want this to be a part of would be electrical. And then I can put in here 2x4 recessed buffer. So once I have this symbol created, do a right click, add to tool chest, and then I'm gonna put this under MEP. You can see it right over here. So now that we have this symbol created, of course, I can engage the scale, place the scale, place the symbology here for the 1/8 inch one, and then place it over here for the 3/32 one, as well as the one over here for the 1/4 inch one. So that's how you can That's how you can create symbols. Great question. I hope that answers your question. Were there any other questions?
I don't see any right now, but we can give you guys a minute to get those in. And also, just before we forget, there is also a handout attached here as well, which I'm sure Douglas will go over. But if you guys want to take a look at that, just so we don't forget to mention it. But if there's any other questions, feel free to throw those in now so we can answer them for you.
Correct. And with respect to the handout that you can download and digest at your leisure, we offer either one full day or 2 half days of Bluebeam training. And as you see, there's some topics that we can cover. If you see within the topics cover items that you are specifically looking for, feel free to email me and we can design a class that's going to cover the things that you're mostly interested in. I do say that after you do take a class from us in using Bluebeam, you will be more efficient and more aware of different ways Bluebeam can help you within your day-to-day process. With respect to that, my email address is right here. So definitely feel free to jot that down, dbray@microcad3d.com. And hopefully I will hear back from some of you on your interest in, maybe some custom symbols to be made for your company, further information on maybe redacting or using Studio or doing a group markup. Bluebeam also has that capabilities where you can have multiple team members marking up the same PDF at the same time, and that's in Bluebeam Studio Sessions. And as you can see here, I'm not signed into Studio as of yet, but we could do here it is right here, Sessions. That's a real nice feature where you can have multiple people marking up the same PDF. I think that's it, Rebecca.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. If anyone has any other questions you think of afterwards, you can definitely email Douglas or myself. And yeah, I think that is it for today. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you as well.